Well, I can tell you that the French military operation is over. It ended last night. More than 500 people were on board the French planes, more than 200 French citizens and people from 36 other nationalities, including Europeans, Africans and Asians. But it's not because this operation is over that there is no more operation at the moment in Khartoum. As you said previously, the United Kingdom is currently trying to bring its citizens in other countries. I was speaking to an Irish diplomat earlier today. He was saying that they still have 60 to 70 people stranded in Khartoum and that they're trying to find solutions to bring them here in Djibouti or in Kenya, but they need to find allies who are able to have planes on the ground and military on the ground in Khartoum. But it's not the only solution. Many embassies are trying to evacuate their citizens using the road to Port Sudan in the northeast, close to the Red Sea, where the UN managed to bring 700 of their staff. They are all waiting to be evacuated, but it's very difficult for the United Nations to find solutions. They need allies to bring boats or planes in this region. It could be France, because we know that there is a French Navy ship that's coming to Port Sudan at the moment. And finally, let's speak about the Sudanese that are still stranded in Khartoum at the moment. Millions of people are still in Khartoum today, and they're still willing to evacuate as well, but they don't have embassies to take them in other countries. So the only solution for them is to go by road, to use cars, bus, but it's still very difficult to organize that because of the fighting, because of the situation in the country, and all these people are still stuck in the capital city.
Indeed, and I know you've been speaking to contacts inside Sudan over the past few days as we've watched this violence unfold. And what are they telling you today about how well or how unwell this ceasefire is holding?
Well, I can tell you that it's not 100% implemented. They tell me that in Khartoum they can still hear gunshots and explosions in several parts of the city. So it seems that this ceasefire is a kind of a truce to organize the evacuation of foreigners, but it's not a real ceasefire. It's impossible at the moment to organize negotiations between General Hemeti, the head of the Rapid Support Forces, and General al-Burhan, the head of the army, because they both say that they will not negotiate together. The army said that they cannot negotiate with Hemeti before the dissolution of the Rapid Support Forces. And we know that tensions have been rising between the two men since 2019. They were both in charge of leading the transition to democracy. And since the beginning, it was clear for civilians that they had no will to leave the power and to give it back to civilians. And the tensions have been growing during the past years. And it ended with a situation that we can see now in Sudan. And I can tell you that given the intensity of the fighting, according to many diplomats that I met here in Djibouti, there is no chance to see a real ceasefire anytime soon. They tell me that they've seen many places in Khartoum being destroyed, that they could see many bodies in the streets of Khartoum. They told me that the numbers given by the UN are inaccurate. They say that more than 420 civilians have been killed in the country. And they tell me that they should multiply this number by 10 at least to have a real idea of what's happening at the moment in Sudan. So you understand that given the intensity of the fighting, it's impossible to have a real ceasefire so quickly.
Bastien Renouil,